When a man pulls away, one question often becomes impossible to ignore. Does he miss me? Because the silence that follows distance can feel confusing. One moment there was warmth, conversation, connection. And then suddenly, there is space. Messages slow down. Plans disappear. The emotional closeness that once felt natural becomes quiet. And when that happens, the mind starts filling the silence with questions. Did he lose interest? Did I imagine the connection? Or is he thinking about me right now too? For many people experiencing this situation, the hardest part is the uncertainty. Because distance without explanation leaves room for endless interpretations. But the truth is that pulling away doesn't always erase emotional attachment. In many cases, the opposite happens. Distance can actually make emotions more visible, because when someone steps back from a connection, they also lose the daily presence that once kept those emotions steady. Without constant conversation and interaction, the mind begins reflecting, remembering, replaying moments that once felt meaningful. And during that reflection, feelings often become clearer. He may remember the conversations you shared, the moments where he felt understood, the way the connection felt different from others. These memories can create a quiet sense of longing, but longing doesn't always lead someone to immediately return. Because the same emotions that create longing can also create fear. If the connection felt emotionally intense before, those feelings may still feel overwhelming. So instead of rushing back toward the connection, he may stay distant while trying to understand his own reactions. From the outside, that distance can look like indifference, but internally, it can feel more complicated. Because emotional attachment rarely disappears overnight, especially if the connection felt genuine. Instead, emotions often move through a process. First comes closeness, then distance. And during that distance, reflection begins. Reflection about what the connection meant. Reflection about how deeply the emotions were felt. Reflection about whether those feelings are something he is ready to face. For some men, this reflection can awaken unexpected feelings of missing the connection, missing the comfort, missing the emotional understanding that existed between two people. But acknowledging those feelings requires emotional openness. And for someone who struggles with vulnerability, that step can take time. So instead of expressing the feeling directly, he may keep it private, quiet, unspoken. And that silence can easily be misunderstood as emotional absence, when in reality, something more complex may be happening beneath the surface. Missing someone does not always mean immediately returning to them. Sometimes missing someone simply means recognizing that the connection mattered. And recognizing that a connection mattered can be both comforting and unsettling. Comforting because it proves the experience was real. Unsettling because it introduces emotional vulnerability. If someone misses you, it means you had an impact on their emotional world. And for someone who is used to protecting their emotional independence, that realization can feel significant. Because emotional attachment changes how we experience distance. Without attachment, distance feels neutral. With attachment, distance feels noticeable. Moments that once felt ordinary suddenly feel empty. Places, conversations, and routines can remind someone of the connection they stepped away from. But the presence of those reminders does not automatically resolve the internal conflict. Part of him may miss the connection. Another part may still feel uncertain about moving closer again. This internal conflict is common in people who struggle with emotional vulnerability. They experience both attraction and hesitation at the same time, both longing and caution, both curiosity and fear. And navigating those opposing emotions can take time. During that time, he may remain quiet, observing his own feelings, trying to understand what the connection truly means to him. For the person on the other side, that silence can feel painful, because you remember the closeness too. You remember the conversations, the moments where something real seemed to appear. And when someone who shared those moments suddenly becomes distant, it's natural to wonder if they feel the absence the same way. In many cases, they do. But emotions don't always lead people back immediately. Sometimes they lead people into reflection, into emotional processing, into quiet moments where they try to understand themselves, because acknowledging that you miss someone means acknowledging that they matter. And acknowledging that someone matters requires vulnerability. For someone who struggles with vulnerability, that step can feel intimidating. So they move slowly, quietly, carefully. Not because the connection was meaningless, but because meaningful connections sometimes awaken emotions that take time to understand, which means that distance does not always erase the connection. Sometimes it simply reveals how deeply it was felt.